third fight of the night. It's going to be Blake Mansfield and Aaron Casper. Aaron Casper going to enter first. Aaron Casper, the opponent, 5-4-0 in his career, 4 KOs. His last fight, a fourth-round KO loss to Diego Paccio. And he is an orthodox fighter, age 31, from Baltimore, Maryland. Meanwhile, Blake Mansfield, 7-2-1, 4 KOs in his career. 6th-round unanimous decision victory over Billy Cunningham in his last fight. He is an orthodox fighter and is born and raised in Burlington, North Carolina. His nickname is the KO King. So we get the stage set. This is the heaviest fight of the night, 175 pounds between the two guys. So it'll be a light heavyweight division fight. So what do you expect in this one, Cheer? We know that, we talked about the women fighters really leaving everything on the table. It seems like when you get into the heavier divisions, those are the guys that like to throw the bigger punches amongst the men.
Yeah, correct. And also they have to be a little more careful. They pack big punches in this weight class.
That's right.
So they have to be a little more care. They cannot be careless. They cannot go in there and just throw any punches anyway. They have to be careful to and always watch the opponent. But this is big guys, 175 pounds. The big punches. So I think we're going to have a great fight ahead of us in this one.
I'm going to say this is the first fight that we see get out of the first round tonight. I think this one will probably go a little bit longer. It's scheduled for 6 rounds. A little more information on the guys. Blake Mansfield, 4 of his 10 fights have been against a fighter with a winning record. He is 2-2-1 in those fights. This will be his first fight since February of 2019. So it's definitely been a little bit of a layoff here. We'll see if that'll play any sort of factor here in this one. As for Aaron Casper, 4 of his 5 wins have come via KO, so he definitely has a chance to catch you with some of his power, but he is 1-2 against fighters with a winning record, which is what he will face in Blake Mansfield. So the guy's record's not great against opponents with winning records, and we'll see how that matches up in this one. Bruce Foster ready to introduce the man in the red corner, Blake Mansfield. Not quite the cheer that we heard for Carly Hallman, but a pretty good supporting cast here for Blake Mansfield.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he has some fans, that came with him to support him. You know what I mean? And they both look in good shape. You know what I mean? So I think this is going to be a good fight.
Blake Mansfield, Aaron Casper, live from Rock Hill, South Carolina, here on the Payne Boxing Network. Underway, round 1 of 6 that is scheduled.
We see already Aaron taking the lead with his jab, trying to use his size over Blake. This is going to be a good fight. Seems like Aaron is a very smart fighter. He's keeping his distance. He's keeping his jab. Great jab, by the way, by Aaron Casper.
Casper now definitely the more aggressive. And you could see already in this fight, coming out of the gate strong. Both guys looking for that first-round knockout. Got Casper in the gold trunks with the black trim. Sort of reverse that to an extent for Blake Mansfield. He's got the black trunks and the, I guess you'd call that gold trim.
Yeah.
Maybe a mustard yellow type. Saw Mansfield get in there for a second. He's, Casper definitely has been the more aggressive one out of the gate, but Mansfield has definitely been effective with the punches that he has landed.
Oh, definitely. Blake looking for that power shot. He trying to get inside that jab, you know what I mean, to line the power. You could tell he has a lot of power in his hands. You know what I mean? Every time he throws, you see the pop in his power. You know what I mean? Give credit to Aaron Casper. He using an awesome, excellent jab to try to keep Blake at bay. And so far, he's working. You know, he's keeping him He's keeping a distance, you know what I mean? But it will be a matter of time when Blake Mansfield start applying the pressure and try to get it close, you know?
Yeah, he's using the jab effectively, but you're hoping that that's to set up something bigger down the line here. Step in there for just a second.
We got Aaron keep looking for the jab, keep looking for the distance. Blake trying to find his way in. Moving his head, moving a little bit, trying to figure out how to overcome Aaron Casper jab.
And it's kind of an interesting strategy by Mansfield because he's been the guy on the ropes here a little bit early on, but has been the guy that's been more effective when he's thrown the punches.
Correct. He's just trying to figure out Casper jab. Casper using the distance very well. You know what I mean? He's keeping the jab right on his face and stepping back after he jab. You know what I mean? That's a great round. Very, very close round. I just saw Aaron Casper, you know, having the best of the round slightly by using his jab and his distance. He's actually jabbing and stepping back before Mansfield is able to step in to land the punches. Very much strategy by him and his corner.
Yeah, no, they have come out pretty aggressive, and yeah, that jab has really worked wonders for him. Mansfield, though, with some of the power punches that he's been able to land, has had a nice effect with those. So I agree, very evenly matched round. You heard the applause after the first round. I don't think that was for the end of the first. I think that might have been for we actually get to see another round of fighting in one of these fights on the card today.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, at least we're going to the second round now.
Here's what we paid. Here's what we paid our money for. So yeah, round number 2 about to get underway. Again, 6 rounds here in the light heavyweight division between these talented 2 fighters. Again, both guys came into the night with winning records. And so both very nice boxing careers.
I think Blake Mansfield, to be successful in this fight, he needs to find his way in. You know what I mean? He needs to jab his way in. He cannot just come in because Casper have a great jab, great distance. You know what I mean? He needs to move his head coming in and stay inside and let him hit punch. You can tell he's a heavy hitter. You know, so I think he would be more effective if you stay inside in the distance, inside the distance.
You can see it now just a little bit. Aaron Casper starting to set up some stuff off of that jab. And that is something that's bothered Mansfield here early on. Really anything from that left hand, whether it's been the straight jab or the slight hook that he can throw in there with it, he's been very effective with.
Also, Mansfield need to come in a different angle. He's coming straight in front of Casper, and Casper all he had to do just keep his front hand out there with the jab. I think he need to move his head, you know, coming in angles to be able to get inside and like his power shot. You need to change the attack a little bit. Different approach to the offense.
And Casper really doing a good job also of what's given to him. That was one of the first times we've seen him go to the body there, but Mansfield gave it up to try to protect against that jab that's been so effective, and he takes it there. I mean, I gotta like what you're seeing, especially mindset-wise from Casper early on.
Yes, definitely. But now I do see Mansfield closing the distance. You know what I mean? I think it will favor his fight a little more once he starts to get closer. Seems like he's starting to get used to a little bit of Casper jab. You know what I mean? And once he closed the distance, I think that would be best for him. And of course, long distance would be better for Casper. He's a longer fighter with a great long jab.
Referee will let him go here as they're tied up. Now they break off a little bit And again, yeah, that's where
Nice
Mansfield.
uppercut.
Yeah, good job there by Casper to sneak that in. And again, you could see it, that right hand starting to get going a little bit. We were saying that in that first round. We're hoping that's something can get set up. Now, good flurry here by Mansfield at the end of the round. And looks like he cut him, actually. Looks like he got him right below that right eye of Aaron Casper. Looks like there's just a little bit of blood. So a very effective finish to that round for Mansfield. In a round where I thought that Casper sort of controlled it again and probably had the win. Mansfield at the end able to sneak in there with a nice flurry. Who did you have winning that round there?
Yeah,
Chiro?
you know what? It was a very close round. I do give it to Casper. I think he controlled the most of the round, other than the last 20 seconds. He landed clean uppercut. You know what I mean? So once again, this round could go either way. They're very close, very competitive rounds. You know, my edge, I've given him to Casper so far.
Yes, but an extremely close fight. And again, Mansfield's a guy that really thrives on his power. So is Casper, though, interestingly enough. As we mentioned, 4 of his 5 wins have been by way of knockout. But he has fought a really smart fight here so far. As round number 3 about to get underway.
There we go. I think we got Mansfield coming with a different set of mind now. I think he's coming more aggressive, trying to cut the distance. And I think that will work better for him in this fight.
And I think that definitely has something to do with how effective he was at the end of that second round there. I mean, you cut your opponent because of how aggressive you were, and so far he's been the guy that's been dictating the pace. You want to try to sort of change that. And I know from a trainer's perspective, Chiro, how do you sort of get a guy that maybe isn't dictating the pace the way he would like? What are you telling him in that corner in between rounds to try to get him to change that?
What you have to give him a technical point. You cannot just tell him, hey, cut the distance. No, and sometimes he cannot figure out. Sometimes you have to be out there watching for him and tell him exactly what he needs to do to be more effective. Not just tell him be more effective, tell him how to do it. You know what I mean? In my case, what I would still tell Mansfield to be is stay in the packet, but coming in with the jab and in angles. Cannot come in a straight line. And now we have a great fight in Austin. Now they're two going right at it. Now there's no distance. They're fighting a middle range, and they both landing some big punches. This is a very, very good fight here.
Yeah, and I think that's what Mansfield wants. He feels like he has the advantage in that area. Now things settle down just a little bit. But, yeah, you're always going to have those moments, especially when you get these guys with the heavier weight that have more power, where you're going to see back and forth like that. As Mansfield tries to fight off the ropes.
Yeah, he should walk to the side. Walk sideways. Mansfield should walk to the side. As Casper was leaning on him, and let Casper fall in and come back with a counter. You know what I mean? When somebody falling on you and you on the rope, you just walk sideways, let him fall into the rope, and then you turn around and counter him back. He would not able to do it, but that's what he needed to do. And I'll be honest with you, Mansfield look in a little bit trouble here.
Yeah, Casper now got him up in top left corner of your screen.
Yeah, Mansfield staying in the rope a little bit too much, you know what I mean, and actually paying the price for it. He looked a little gassed too. I think those body punches from Casper had taken the toll on him, you know what I mean, and now Casper sensed that, and now Casper being more aggressive. He sensed that he had Mansfield like in a little bit of a trouble.
10 seconds left in the round. But a fantastic showing from Casper. Now Mansfield trying to fight his way out of that corner again. And that'll be the end of the round. Mansfield clearly not thrilled with his performance in that round as he shakes his head over in the corner. But yeah, that one definitely dictated by Casper. Mansfield, I think, thought, I'm going to try to fight the way I want to fight, which is a little more aggressive, a little closer to him. And Casper responded and really fought well even in that situation.
Yeah, he did. He adapted well to the pressure of Mansfield. You know what I mean? Mansfield made a little bit a couple mistakes by staying on the rope. you know, that gave the advantage to Casper to be able to land a couple of those body shots. And the uppercut is on point also, you know. What I'm seeing here coming to round 4, I see Casper with better win. You know, I see Mansfield breathing a little deeper. And he still got, we're coming to round number 4. He still got 3 more rounds to go.
Yeah.
So he better get that second win or he's going to find himself in trouble.
Corners clear out, round number 4.
See, that's one of the things from big puncher. You can tell Mansfield's a big puncher. You know what I mean? They think that every time you hit somebody, you're going to fall. And now that doesn't happen every time. Now Mansfield coming more aggressive, sensing that he probably behind the scorecard a little bit. So now he's trying to apply the pressure and trying to turn the fight in his favor.
Yeah, and you could see he was doing exactly what you said there when he was up on the rope, stepping to his side and using that uppercut, and it worked very, very well that time. But now Casper's got him back in the corner.
Correct. Not a good spot for Mansfield to be.
Yeah, he's been doing that just a little bit too often tonight, and he's found his way to, you know, to fight himself out of it a couple of times. It's never
great body shots.
Yeah, Casper really starting, we've seen that early on. First 2 rounds was really more focused on that jab. Now starting to work the body a little bit and wear him down.
Yeah, he actually sensed the Mansfield getting a little tired. You know what I mean? Especially with the body shot that he lands. So now he's being more offensive minded. You know what I mean? Now he's applying a little bit more the pressure and making Mansfield go to the rope and work off the rope. Nice, great body shot by Casper.
Again, Mansfield just continuing to get himself on the ropes and into those corners. As he's there once again, trying to fight his way out of it. Now they'll be locked up. So tell Casper not to use his forearm over in the corner.
And Casper sends the Mansfield is getting tired. He keep going to the body, great instruction by his corner. I can hear him saying, keep working the body, keep working the body. That's exactly what I would tell him. And he's doing exactly what his corner telling him. And Mansfield need to do something big soon to turn this fight around because he's definitely slipping out of his hands now.
Got him in that right or left hand, or yeah, excuse me, right hand. Trying to picture the screen in my head as you guys would see it at home. That close right hand corner. As you can probably see in the background as well, the main event headliners have arrived.
Well, you see, the good thing about this fight, you know, Casper, I feel, is getting the best of him. Mansfield's a huge puncher. You can never discount a huge puncher. And now Casper fighting at close distance, so anything can change at any second. In that weight class, all it takes is one clean one. Mansfield definitely had the punch to do so. So that's why this fight is still interesting. Because once again, Mansfield's a big puncher, and at any given moment, you know, he can turn the fight around to his favor.
So do you give that round again to Casper?
Yes. I think he's dictating the pace. You know, he's making Mansfield go to the rope. You know, I mean, he landed the better shot. He's dictating the pace of the fight. I definitely giving this round also to Casper.
And so that means that, in your mind, Blake Mansfield will have to win this one by way of knockout. So, you know, if you're in the corner and you know you're in a fight that you're losing here, as you start to get down the stretch, how does that mindset change? Because, I mean, it's one thing for you to say in the corner as a trainer, okay, you need to get a knockout here. But it's, you know, when you got a guy that's tired and everything like that, how do you try to work that around, you know, your fighter being tired but also having to do that to get a win?
Well, one thing I would have done in the corner is trying to bring his heart rate down first. You know, I mean, cooling down so he can get the second win. Sometimes you have to be a little bit cheerleader and tell him, you know, listen, you know what I mean, just get that second win. Do you want to win? You want to lose? We got to go for broke. Mm-hmm. You know, tired or not. You know what I mean? This is professional boxing. When you get that L, it sticks with you. So on fight day, you don't want to come tomorrow and say, man, I should have tried this, I should have tried that. No, you got to try it now. You know, if I'm in Mansfield corner, you know, I'm trying to pour a lot of water on top of him, get him to bring his heart rate down, and tell him, my friend, we got to go for broke. You know what I mean? Because there's no tomorrow, it's right now.
And again, Mansfield back up against those ropes. It's been a constant spot for him.
I think Mansfield trying to get the second win. I mean, I don't think he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. If he's down in the scorecard, I mean, it's a close fight. Like I said, the scorecard could be either way. I do feel Casper is up, but you never know.
It's now Casper turned around on the ropes. We've seen this a couple of times from Mansfield as both guys wrap up through a couple of body shots in there. But that's more of what you've got to see from Mansfield. Whoa, yeah.
Beautiful uppercut. As I was saying earlier, he got to come in angles like he did. You know, he bent his way to the right and threw the right uppercut. That's exactly what he got. Oh, he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt. And the fight is over, my friend.
Wow.
Casper landed a perfect right hand on top of the shin. And it's over, my friend. Now when Mansfield was starting to come along, Casper landed a big right hand.
Yeah, that was just a great response. And Mansfield is not pleased at all.
No, yeah, he definitely upset. You know what I mean? You as a fighter never want to lose. You know what I mean? But it was a great stoppage by the referee. I mean, he was out. You know, he was out. You know, and 2 more punches too early is better than 2 more punches too late. It was a good stoppage by the referee and a great, awesome performance by Casper, who controlled the distance in the first couple rounds, controlled the jab. When he saw that Mansfield was starting to get a little tired, then he applied the pressure. You know what I mean? Went to the body to getting a little more tired. Great performance by Casper.
Yeah, that was just a great series of punches there at the end. Great combos from him. Blake Mansfield currently down in the ring, but he really just more emotional than anything. Now, good news is he seems to be okay after taking a couple of really good punches. And that really hurts for Mansfield because you feel like, you know, he had shown something there right before that, landed a big uppercut. So in his mind, he's probably thinking, I've got a shot here. I've got a little bit of momentum. And then everything in just the snap of a finger changed on him. Casper came in and found a way to finish him off.
Yeah, actually a great sportsmanship by both. You know, Mansfield heartbroken, you know, he's crying. Because he's heartbroken and they both, you know, giving each other a hug, a good fight, you know, that's okay, you know. And sometimes it's not unite. He had to come back, fix those little mistakes and get to fight another day. He's just heartbroken, you know, no fighter want to lose, you know what I mean? But it was a Casper night tonight.
Blake Mansfield, 7-3-1 in his career, so one that hurts, but definitely is not going to define his career. And then for Aaron Casper, 6th win of his career.
1 minute 37 seconds of round number 5. Your winner by TKO, Aaron Casper.
For Casper, that's his 5th by way of knockout in his career, although one of his wins have come by way of knockout. So, well, that was a great one, Cheer. That was one that we would definitely.
That was a great fight and a great performance technically by Casper. He knew when he needed to put pressure. He knew when he didn't need to put pressure. You know what I mean? When you face a puncher like Mansfield, you know what I mean? You want to let him wear out a little bit before you start putting a little pressure because he's too dangerous. You know, so he did what he's supposed to do. He you know, he first started to get Mansfield tired, controlling the distance with the jab, and then when he realized that it was time to put pressure, he did. Great performance by him.